What's it like working with a publisher to get your book ready for publication? Hi, I'm Mark J. Gregson. I'm the author of Sky's End, and it is coming out in spring 2024 from Peachtree Teen. Now I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my experience so far working with a publisher. So I got my initial offer, my agent and I got our initial offer back in January for the book. There was a little bit of negotiation that went back and forth. We went over a little bit of terms on the contract, a little bit on the money as well. Once everything was agreed upon, which actually took a couple months, I signed the contract. So I actually signed the contract in April. After I signed the contract, I got my editorial notes from my editor at the publishing house. These editorial notes, or developmental edits, are usually the biggest edits that you're going to do with your publisher. It's basically biggest issues with the book that need to be fixed. For Sky's End, it took me about 6 weeks to complete my developmental edits. It depends on the book, depends on your editor, and how much work your book needs. After I finished those edits, my editor came back with a second round. The second round was much simpler than the first. The second round only took me a couple days. And one of the cool things about Peachtree Teen is they've actually involved me in the process of choosing an illustrator. So my editor has been asking me about what I have visualized for my book cover, and then he's been seeking out illustrators who match my vision. And we snagged an incredible illustrator. After looking at like 20 of them, we snagged a really incredible one, my favorite one, which is Amir Zan. This illustrator is amazing, and he has done work for like Dune and Halo, and he's also, I think, working on the new Star Wars game. Well, my editor, after I finished all my edits and I sent back my second round of edits, my editor actually approved my edits. And now the next thing that's coming up is copy edits, which are not supposed to be as extensive. And I also got the first sketches of my book cover, and I wish I could share it with you, but I'm not allowed to. But just look in my eyes, they've seen something really cool. After I do the copy edits, then we're gonna have line edits. These are all gonna be assigned to me, and these are not supposed to be as in-depth as the developmental edits. Sometime next year, I'm going to be assigned a publicist who I'm assuming is going to help me market my book and help me be successful in getting people aware of it. Furthermore, we'll be having my book reveal cover. That's going to be happening sometime next year. Pre-orders will be available sometime next year. There's a lot that goes into making a book. When I first got my offer for my book, I'd heard that it was coming out in spring 2024, and I told a couple people, and they're like, why so far away? And I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of things that go into it. And I was a little disappointed too, so I was like, man, 2 years, that's a long time to wait. But now that I'm in there, I'm like, I need as much time as I can to get as many people aware of my book as possible. I'm going to continue sharing more about my book and my journey. It would be awesome if you give me a follow and maybe a like. And it would be really awesome if you put my book onto your Goodreads shelf so we can build up some hype. My book, Sky's End, is a young adult science fiction / fantasy. It's set on floating islands in the sky. It's about a young man, a former highborn who's lost all of his status and power and is hell-bent on getting it back. And he'll do whatever it takes to rise.